the concept of balls. So I'll just do like a one with an arc now. So everybody must be familiar with this thing that I'm drawing now. I'll just you guys know what this is?
All trajectory path.
Yeah. So I'll do like progressive bouncing ball now. So I'm just being very careful with drawing those parabolas. That's what they're called. So this is a parabola. So that's basically the paths that a bouncing ball would take as it bounces. Maybe I just made it a little too small. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna do progressive bouncing ball now. Now, the reason I'm trying to be very precise with the trajectory is because the arc of the bounce can also determine a lot about how the movement happens. Because, like I said, it's animation is just the essence of how we look at real life, right? So in real life, when a ball bounces, this is the kind of arc it takes. And it's not really circular or semicircular, like it's not like this, as a lot of videos online I've seen, like they draw it like this, because the thing is, ball doesn't really bounce like this, you know, it bounces more like this. It's more like an egg, like the top of an egg, you know. So it goes like in a very straight path as it goes up. And then it slows down and then it comes down in a straight path like that. And then again it goes up in a straight path, but it slowly starts to curve and then come down. But yeah, we can keep it rough for now. It's fine because it's just for a reference. Cool. So I'll keep this drawing as a reference for me to work with at the bottom. All right. Now I'll start putting the drawings in. Now, as we've been doing it, I'll just put a squashed frame here. Because, you know, as it impacts the ground, it's going to squash a little. The squash and stretch bit is fairly clear, I guess, to everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Now, let's say for this bounce, let's say it takes, again, 16 frames. Now, as someone was asking in the beginning why we are going for 16 specifically and not 12 or 24. First is the timing, because having animated for long enough, I know that this can't take 1 second, because if you play it out in your head, the point, point, point. So it's more like half a second, but 16 for the longer one, because it's also easier to break it down evenly. So if you take a look at my timeline here, if you take 16 frames, you can break it down evenly into chunks of 8 frames on either side. Then furthermore, you can break them down evenly in chunks of 4. Then you can evenly break them down in chunks of 2. And then you can evenly break them down in chunks of 1. Right? So that's just something which comes in handy when you're animating on long shots, because when you start blocking a shot, to think about many things at the same time, it's fairly easier to keep things manageable as much as you can. So 16 frames really helps you block things in a way that you can easily break those down as you go and add more drawings in. And we'll get to it when we do the other bounces of the progressive one, and you'll see what I mean. So for now,
Yeah, hello Rohit.
yeah,
Yeah, one doubt is
yeah,
that when you were doing the bowling ball, you said that you can't divide 6 frames into many parts.
yeah.
Why did you say it like that? Is it because it can be divided like only once, or
No,
is
because
there anything?
yeah, if you divide 6, right? So this is frame number 1, this is frame number 7. So if you divide it, let's say evenly here, right? So it will be what? Frame number 4,
Yeah,
right? Now you are left with what? 2 drawings here, 2 drawings here, right?
uh,
But now to put those 2 drawings evenly, you would have to place them uh, equidistant like this. Like you can't evenly break them down. Like if you break it down once, now either you can break this down or you can break this down. You see what I mean?
yeah,
So
got it.
yeah,
That'll
you can,
become 1.5.
yeah.
So
You can either put 3 and then put 2 here, or you can either put 2 and then put 3 here. But in either case, you won't get even spacing.
uh,
But for you to get even spacing, you'll have to put them 1/3, right?
uh,
So, and it's not a problem to put them like 1/3. It's just that it gets a little complicated.
okay. Uh,
But that's just to simplify things. It's not that it's a no. You can do it, of course. No problem with that.
hmm,
Yeah.
hmm,
So from here to here, let's say we take 16 frames for this bounce to happen. Now I'm trying to be as consistent as I can be with my volumes. Now right in the middle, as I break it down, it will be here up at the top, right? Bit below. Right. So now, as we start breaking this down, so now we know. So the whole thing takes 16 frames. So in 8 frames it goes up, 8 frames it comes down. All right. Now, as we said, when the bounce has to happen, it accelerates as it falls down. And then as it hits the ground, it rebounds and it again goes at full speed. And as it goes up, it starts decelerating. And again, as it falls down, it starts accelerating again. So it means that we spend more time up at the top, and the actual hitting of it, we can spend less time doing that. So what it would mean is that the spacing for the breakdown, we can make it favor the top drawing, right? Just like we've been doing with the linear ones. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
We're assuming that the initial ball already has some power, right? From the
Yeah. As you can see
Okay.
in the trajectory, it's still like it comes falling down.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's already got a momentum. Sorry, I think I didn't draw it as clearly, maybe. Yeah, it's there. All right, so it falls down from here. And as it falls, it slowly starts losing momentum with each bounce, and then it exits the screen. So again, we break it down even further. Again, favoring the top drawing more. You guys understand this funder, right? Why we are favoring the top drawing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because as we move from here to here, it has to decelerate. So we start slowing down towards the frame at the right. And then again from the top, it has to accelerate. So we put the drawing closer to the previous one. Right? Yeah, so that's that. Now, again, I'll start favoring the drawing here slightly more. Now I'm stretching it a bit as well, as you guys can see. So because of the impact, it just rebounds. So just to sell the motion, just to sell the speed of it, we stretch it out a little, right? Similarly here, I'll favor the drawing at the top more. As we go. I'm just trying to be as consistent with my volumes as I can. But again, for the rough pass, you just do your best and really just try to feel the motion out and not really worry too much about if you're losing the volume too much. But try to be as consistent as you can. Now, similarly, as it falls down, you're still favoring the previous drawing, as you can see here. Now it falls. We're still favoring the drawings like the previous one. And keep the volumes consistent. Now, I just like you guys to notice how the spacing is changing. The balls. So you guys can see, like, as the ball progresses, it gets progressively closer and closer, and as it again falls down, it accelerates and goes farther and farther. And as you can see, we try our best to keep on increasing the spacing of it as it goes up and as it comes down, right? So that's basically the idea, and that's what we're going for. And generally, the up and down movement is what's accelerating and decelerating. And of course, it decelerates as it progresses as well. But the left to right movement is generally fairly constant. I wouldn't say completely constant, but it still is. Like, if you see, like, the spacing as it moves from left to right is kind of very constant. But since we already made sure that our parabolas keep on decreasing in size, so even if the spacing between the ball, like between the bounces, remains constant from left to right, it will still gradually keep on decreasing, right? So that's something to consider. But yeah, it'll make sense as we go along. But everybody's following it, right?
Yeah.
Anybody has
Yeah.
any doubts?
It's okay.
You can ask, it's fine. So
Guys, is it clear with everyone?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Yes.
good. Okay.
Yeah. Cool, cool.
All right. Now, again, we just keep on favoring. Now, as we keep on adding more drawings, we'll just keep favoring the drawing like here. Now, as it rebounds, we go here. We'll favor the drawing in the top. Now, this we don't really have much space to put this. We'll just put it here, like that. Now here, again, we'll start favoring the drawing at the top. Now slowly also, since it was too stretched, we'll slowly make it regain its shape back again. Now again, we'll try and favor the top drawing more. You can see, right? Like this edge, and this edge, we're constantly favoring the drawing towards the top. As we move. I think here, I think we moved it a bit too much. Should be here somewhere. No. It moves further and further. Now, here again, we'll try and place it closer to the top line. Again, bring the top drawing more. Now, I'm also trying to check the arc, that my arcs aren't going off as we move. I'm thinking maybe I've put it more, but it's okay. We'll see how it goes. Now still we'll keep favoring the previous drawing more and more. So it accelerates as we move. So that's one bounce done. Now, oops. All right, so if the first bounce took us 16 frames, now it gradually starts decreasing. So let's say this one takes 10 frames from here to here. Okay, I'm just guessing here. Nothing really too methodical about it. It's just, I'm just trying to guess, like if this arc took 16 frames for me to do, then as we gradually go on decreasing the timing of it, because it's going to get faster and faster, right? Because the arc gets smaller and smaller, so the bounces get faster. So something like that. So the bigger one took 16, then let's do 10 here. Now, I won't squash it as much because since it's not going to fall from a bigger height, so maybe I'll just retain its elasticity. Now again, the squash and stretch really depends on how cartoony you want to make it, but I generally don't really prefer if it's like too squashy and stretchy, because it then doesn't just feel like a bounce, it just feels very inorganic. So now again, to break it down now, I'll put one drawing in the middle. At the top, I'm trying to be as consistent as I can with my volumes. Cool. Now, as you can see, I was saying 16 frames was easier to keep breaking down into even chunks. But now here we are left with 5 and 5. Now, how do you break 5 into even chunks of 2.5 frames? You can't. So what we can do is we can apply the ideas that we already did. That since we are spending more time up at the top, so of course, spacing wise, we are already favoring the drawings at the top. But now since we are left with 5 drawings here, so I'll break it into 2 and 3, let's say, instead of 3 and 2. Just for my understanding, I'll put the breakdown, but keep more frames for me to spend up at the top, so that we don't have enough, like we have just 1 frame for it to go from here to here, but from this position to the position at the top, we have 2 more frames to add. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
More frames means slower action, and fewer frames means faster action, right? So that's what I did here. I just put one on. Again, I'll do the same. The drawing here. More. Now, start as it accelerates, bounces, but we won't be stretching it out as much either, because it's not really, it's lost a lot of its momentum. So we won't stretch it out as much. We will a little, but not as much. We'll favor the drawing at the top. Now, again, favoring the top drawing here. There we go. I'm favoring it more. Right? Let's this one out a bit more. Now again, let's see. I'll favor the trees. So break it down and first do this drawing, favoring it. Now it falls down. Put this one. Where it works. All right. Now we had 16 frames, then we did 10 frames. Now this is even smaller. So let's say 5 frames. Now as you can see, I'm already doing odd numbers now because I just can't help it. The time for the bounce to happen is just too small. So we can't really always do like manageable chunks of even numbers, So here I'm left with no other choice but to put it in 5 frames. Now, as you can see, 5 frames, for you to evenly break it down, it's not possible. So, but what you can do is, you can have 2 drawings up at the top. So, till now, we were doing like 1 drawing in the center, right? But now since we are going to put 5 drawings, but the top drawings have to be fairly constant, So what can we do? We can put them very close together, but on top. But that's just me problem solving here. Because if I had put this one right in the center, now as you can see, we have 3 drawings and like 3 frames and 2 frames. So we'll inevitably have to put 2 frames for it to go up, but 1 frame to come down. So it would look like unnatural because currently we are using like equal drawings to go up, equal drawings to come down, right? So somehow I'm just thinking that to go up and to come down, we need equal number of drawings. So here I can't put 1 drawing right in the center because then we won't have that. So just so that the spacing makes sense, I'll just put it a little off here. And then I'll put another one. Maybe I'll put it here. And then I'll do another one fairly close. Okay. I still think the spacing of it can be a little closer. Yeah, That looks much more like it. Like you can see up here at the top. Oops, sorry. Like here at the top, as you can see, the spacing has to be like that close. So gauging by that, I just drew those. Now we have one drawing to come down and one drawing to go up. Right? So from here to here, again, I'll favor the drawing at the top. So, this one, that. Have I lost you guys? You can say if you think this doesn't make much sense.
Guys, everyone's here, right?
Yeah,
Y'all
it
are
makes
here?
Ah,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Keep sending your feedbacks.
It's just me trying to problem solve, just so that we have equal number of drawings to go up and to come down. But that's all I was trying to do. And then here we have this and this. And then it just exits the frame. So yeah, I'll just quickly draw this here. And then it's gone. Alright, so we're done with this. Now we have to add this as well. Now, since this whole thing was 16 frames, so it was 8 frames going up, 8 frames coming down. So maybe I'll just keep 8 frames because it's just half the bounce, So right. So half the bounce. I'll put my ball here to begin with. Then again, I break it down. I keep favoring my drawing at the top because it's coming down, it accelerates. So I'll just put my breakdown here. Then again, keep on favoring the drawing on the top. Keep on favoring the drawing at the top. Now I just add more drawings to it. Constantly favoring the top drawing, as we've been doing till now. And just keep checking the spacing as I go. So I make sure that I'm putting my drawings in this correct spot. Maybe this one has to be a little farther. And then even farther than that. Here. Still stretching it out a bit. And this one I think has to be even farther because as it accelerates, it has to be farther than that. And then at the end, it just comes down. Here, 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 here. This. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. All right, so just make sure the impact. Yes. Okay, now we'll just go ahead and press play and see what it looks like. All right, time for the truth. Let's play. Yeah, I'll just switch off that layer that we can just see the bounces. So I hope there's no frame dropping happening on your end, right?
No.
No, nothing.
No, it's smooth.
You see it clearly.
Awesome. Yeah. So
Can I ask a question?
yeah,
So for the last bounce, like you
Uh-huh.
say, like you're solving the problem to make it like offset a little bit, but can you just like move it like forward one frame to make it even? Or is it because you want to make the speed faster? So
Yeah,
that you need to
it was
take it.
mostly the speed. You can do 6 frames also. So if you want, we can try it out as well if you want.
Yeah,
Because
I'm just curious that is it like you want to
definitely
make the speed?
let's
Okay.
try it out. Yeah, because in the end, there's no one way of animating, because the timing is very subjective, how it feels and how you plan the spacing and all of that. So every animator would do it differently. So of course, we can try and do it with 6 frames, let's say. So it lands here and here. So let's do, if we took 6 frames to do this, and if we break this down, right, and if we put the drawing right in the center, right, now we'd have 2 drawings to add here, and then 2 drawings to add here, right? That's what you're saying, right? So definitely you can do that. But then again, you'll have to add you'll have to favor, like you have to favor the top drawings more. So you will put 1 drawing here. Then you'll put 1 drawing even closer, right? Still trying to make sure that you're following the art properly. And similarly, you will put 1 drawing here. And then you'll put another drawing here, favoring the top. So now our animation is just 1 frame more than it was before, and then we'll play and see how it looks. Yeah, it works. But as you can see, that 1 extra frame gives it a nice pop. So that's all. Do you see it though?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, it's because the way I was thinking about it was like first we did 16 frames, then we reduced 6, and then we came down to 10. So now instead of reducing 4, I reduced 5. So 10, then just 5 frames, and then it would be 3 frames and 1 frame, and then it just stops and keeps going. You see? So I was also trying to gradually decrease the number of frames. So first 16 frames, then I reduced 6, so it was 10 frames, then we reduced 5, then it was. But yeah, that's just the way I was thinking about it. But of course, you can go 16, then 10, then 6, then 3. It's also fine. So anything goes really, as long as you plan it out. Yeah, it works. So you guys can see how managing the spacing can really sell the idea of weight as well. So instead of just putting drawings right in the middle, if you start favoring them to some drawing, you can already get a lot more sense of weight, of acceleration, of deceleration, and all of that. So that's clear to you guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
Yes.
And yeah, of course, we also slightly touched upon the idea of arcs. Like here, the ball is following an arc. So I just made sure that we do an underdrawing for it. And we're not just animating without any plan. So if we have, like, if we are constantly tracking the arc, it just makes it look more believable. So that's that.